hippos instead of wolves. So that's a small win.
Okay, well, there's no hippo, but this is King of the Hippo 4, and this is qualifier number 7, and we have 6 players looking to qualify for the final later on today. And many of these players are very well known. I was watching these guys watching the event yesterday on your stream, Nili. And as this goes to YouTube, I will link your playlists and whatnot. That way people can see previous tournaments. But Budapest...
Oh, look, Ice Cream already losing his first scout there in the TC of Teal.
Yeah.
So that's
I see that. I was
first
going to
blood.
say Budapest is a 2 TC start.
No.
So, Nili, why don't you talk about the map a little bit, and I can introduce the players then, but obviously this is off to a fast start.
Yeah, obviously, like, the production will be relentless here, and yeah, let's take a look. You have some water in the back of all the bases, so not only 2 TCs, but also some fish boom is nice. You have some extra gold spots around the map as well. For example, look around the base of Red here, and his front here is gold, and yeah, basically every TC has a normal gold spots, so... yeah, you got a lot of resources, and we had 4 civilizations to choose from, but people decided to only go for 2 here, T90.
Yeah, the Khmer and the Goths, the 2 that we had mentioned before the game. The Khmer, a civilization that can be quite strong if you can boom them up. And honestly, Nili, I'm liking that choice because of the amount of resources I see. For Tarzes, he has Goths, and look at all the gold and stone he will have. So if a Khmer player is able to secure all those resources, I think those battle elephants and ballista elephants can do a lot of damage. But of course, we talked about Goths have that spam, Nili.
Yeah, they have the spam indeed, but how can you spam if like 2 other people are spamming as well? And something that I didn't notice before when I picked the map, because everyone has the C in their bags, your TCs are spawning more towards the monument in the middle, so I believe the distance towards the monument is shorter than on other maps.
Yeah, it's much shorter. I'm looking at all these PCs now, and it's not a long distance. The only thing that could be interesting here, there's some big wood lines surrounding this monument, more so larger on the left-hand side, and that provides a lot of choke points, and choke points normally aren't very good for Goths if they're up against ballista elephants or any ranged unit. We'll see how players fortify this, because the monument has started at 550 years. Once it goes down to around 100, they will start fighting. There's a lot of possibilities here.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, we'll see endless amounts of spam, and I'm really questioning, like, Khmer. You get to an incredibly strong army, but if you're facing Khmer as well, like, your elephants won't do much if, like, 2 other players are going for the double arrow scorpions there.
Yeah, well, I guess in qualifier number 6, we saw how Canadian Ninja got the middle and Aquino got the middle, and they went... well, I guess Canadian Ninja didn't get an army comp, but Aquino at least went with his ideal army comp. So I also think that timing to the middle is also very important. If you go too early and fortify too early, build your castles, build your production buildings there, you can lose out on a lot of momentum. And I feel like timing is so important with when you go to the middle, that it's almost better to wait until other people have committed and then come in and take them out.
Yeah, I think so as well. And remember, since we have fish boom and 2 TCs, those 550 years will feel longer than normal, because you will get up to population so much faster. Look at that. We're not even at the 7-minute mark, and Super Lisco already looking at pop 31 here.
So I have decent experience with a lot of these players. Super Lisco, Foghorn, Tarzes, Willis, and Ice Cream I've seen in community games. And Super Lisco can boom like no other. So if I were to put my money on someone here, as far as the overall strength of a player, it would be Super Lisco. But I have to say, Ice Cream, now he's obviously a big supporter of what you do, right? I believe he co-casted yesterday. Ice Cream has some real tact to it. And I think maybe he won a King of the Hippo in the past, or at least one of the games.
No, but he said yesterday that he controlled it for some years.
Yeah, at least he got to the middle, right? Regardless, I feel like everybody might have their own strategy they want to use. With so many community games now on these streams and now these events, people are wising up a little bit.
Yeah, and look at the idle villager count. For a moment ago, no one had no idle villagers, and Ice Cream was up to 16 idle villagers, now dropping down to 13. So he cannot really keep up with the macro here. Obviously,
Oh
it's
no,
super,
and he
super
doesn't want
tough.
to kill this boar outside the TC. Okay, that was nice. I thought he was Goth. But you're right, it's tough. You get 2 town centers, then you're controlling if you want to fish. So it's not easy to have a perfect economy. In fact, it's impossible to have a perfect economy because everything's so different. Now, what Ice Cream's doing, he's just making sure if there's any stream cheaters out there, they hear that he has idols. And they're not going to be worried about him. And he's going to come in later on and really beat them down.
Will is now getting Wonder and saying woot woot. And
Woot?
yeah. Let's see how it starts. And just look at how close yellow and blue are on the minimap here as well. Like, I can fit both TCs in one screen here. And we can see Willis now trying to rush out the barracks as well.
Yeah, maybe he wants to be a bit aggressive. Probably a little bit early for that.
Oh.
He's actually been leading it. It's just he's
and it's moving it. What? Okay.
I think he wanted the space for farms later on. Who knows? Yeah. This is the lower qualifier, guys. So the quality is not going to be like Viper, Doubt, and Nikov and whatnot. However, another thing to point out here is that they're sharing ponds too. So if they all were to dock, they're going to be sharing the same pond. So that water control will be crucial if they want to keep their fishing safe. Super Lisco already with 2 docks and multiple fishing ships.
Yeah, that's true, but not everyone docked. As you can see, Ice Cream didn't dock. We see Willis not docking at all, and Centrix not docking either. So they're heavily relying on their farms. And look at how many farms Centrix already had. That looks like 20-ish farms already.
Yeah, he has farms around every town center, and he's on his way to Feudal Age, as is Willis, Tarziz, Foghorn, and Super Lisco.
Yeah. So pretty solid build-ups here for sure. And the only guy missing is Ice Cream, but he's looking at 900 food. So yeah, he just maybe wants to stay under the radar for now.
Yeah, it's a free-for-all at the end of the day, so there shouldn't be as much pressure on you in a free-for-all because everyone should be going to the middle. I mean, look at Willis and Yellow. Look at their nice little border they have here with the houses and the barracks and the outposts. They're just trying to get to the next stage. And they're just counting on the fact that they are not going to be attacking one another, I think.
Yeah, and like both of them are investing so much into walling this, but Willis is like open in the south and the north of it, and Foghorn now trying to close those gaps though.
Yeah, Foghorn, I mean, the house wall is real. He doesn't want to get housed. Yeah. But he has nice house walls forming everywhere. But it's a good point, like you said earlier, they're pretty close. So Foghorn looks to the right and he sees blue. And then he looks up and he runs into Centric. It's never ideal when you want time to boom, but a lot of players do have strong economies now. The lowest is 39 villagers for Willis. And 39 is a number a lot higher than what we usually see at 14 minutes when it's not a start like this.
Yeah, and look at Willis' house wall. He has popped 42 out of 120. So he's prepared for the late game. And remember, he can go up to 210. So maybe he wants to free that up.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of criticism here for Willis. I'm sure he'll watch this at some point. If he would have built docks in either pond and put the wood he put into houses into fishing ships, he'd be able to cook up the castle right now.
Yeah. Look at Foghorn. He's really sneaky and he's already controlling more of the map than any other player, I would say.
Look at that other dock.
Yeah. And Purple having basically water in his bag and 2 other players are docking in his lake. That feels so weird.
Yeah. Well, the Centrix will need to get some map control. Will he want to attack someone? Will he want to just build out and build PCs? We will see. But he's on his way to castle as his Tarz in Super Lisco.
Lots of Khmer players actually going up here with Market and Blacksmith. Something you don't actually need. But
well,
as you can
they
see,
want the market
Centrix
for cartography.
Yeah, probably. Well, Centrix didn't build any buildings, so that's good for him. Trying to abuse his civilization to full potential. And Tarzus, he is building a nice base. Tarzus is building a nice base for himself. Yes,
he's on 2 TCs. He has docks. He's making fire galleys so he can get the map control. 100 wood, 1,000 wood, 1,000 food, and he's on stone. As I think all players will. All players will want to get castles up at some point. But we're probably going to see an early push to the middle as the economies are so strong. There's going to be a lot more time where they can fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, like, the Wonder started quite early there. I believe, like, at the 3-minute mark, the Wonder was already, like, conquered for the first time. And for now, no one is really going for the middle. People are getting to Castle Age. Populations still all pretty reasonable. Highest is Super Cisco, 68. Bulwark Price Scheme looking at the not too shabby 48.
Oh yeah, the wolves are hippos now for me. This is the first time I've experienced this. This little hippo chilling out in the left-hand corner. Well, yeah. I do agree with what you said about Foghorn. I think it's important to get map control. That way, if you do get attacked and start losing some of your base, you still have a lot more to run to. Eccentrix is a really bad example here for map control. He gets attacked next to his golds and his stones, and where does he go?
Yeah. He is super cornered, and his spots are extremely open as well. Look at the gold and stone there. Not a single wall. And just think about, like, some knight, some crossbowman, basically any unit could kill so much.
Yeah, and he's gonna lose 4 golds and 3 stones. Well, he's gonna be pushing out now towards Tarzes with a few battle elephants. This is the first attack we've seen on land. And the battle elephants will be able to kill 1 villager, and you can see immediately Tarzes building barracks, so he can probably go into pikemen.
Yeah, he's going for the defense upgrade there and over-buried. Tarzan felt like he was safe and over-chopped as well. Would have loved to see the ballista elephant chop. And now he's focusing down the barracks.
Yeah, we'll see. There's only 1 barracks up. Will be 2 for a moment for Tarzes. It looks like he lost villagers to some Foghorn scouts on that town center to the right as well. So not a very good moment for Tarzes. Going for a monastery though so he can get conversion, which is definitely the correct move here. Hopefully he's able to get a little bit of map control and get PCs elsewhere so this doesn't hurt him too much.
Oh man, yeah, he should have a pretty good eco. And monks obviously would be perfect counter, but he doesn't have the pikeman upgrade either, so only spearmen at the moment. Let's take a look at if he can get some converts for himself.
Yeah, I think that he built one too many TCs because he's putting so much food in these town centers. It's not a bad idea. If he loses this, maybe he will have some more map control then, but yeah, these battle elephants are quite tanky, and this is maybe what Centrix needed to do. Attack somebody so he doesn't lose his resource. So he's going to the wrong side for that.
Well, yeah, I believe, honestly, like, he could get a lot of golds there in that corner. Now sending more villagers to the front and building a very aggressive castle here. Centrix going for the early kill against Tarzes here.
Wow, well, this is one way to do it. Just try and kill one of your opponents so they don't threaten you later on. Will there be a conversion? Yeah, there is a conversion there for Tarzes. And Tarzes is researching pikemen now. He will only have 5 of them. But it doesn't really matter. The castle's going to go up and Centrix will continue to push. The Tarzes will need a response. Elsewhere, I think everyone seems to be relatively kind to one another, right?
Yeah, the rest is so peaceful. You see some attacks here, also against Tarzes on water, and he was attacked by 2 scouts as well from Foghorn. But he has bigger problems here at the front. He's still leading 1 villager against Centrix though.
Yeah, that 1 villager probably will change in a moment as these villagers will have been in the TC. One of them died. There's been a lot of idle time, so Centrix probably in the lead in that fight. But this is what we're talking about. Look where Foghorn is building his castle, right next to Centrix's resources. And this is going to be more devastating to him than he devastated Tarzes early on. 2 knights and a castle, that would deny all these resources.
Yeah, and he is pushing at the front, so he doesn't take care at all. And those are 2 aggressive siege workshops here, and Centrix still has no idea about this, and we'll get the bad news pretty soon.
Well, Willis saying just passing, I'm not sure why. He seems to just be booming now, but we all know where that came from.
Yeah.
Hopefully that game won't be as long this time, Nili. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-hour King of the Hill game.
No, neither did I. I believe the 2.5 hours was one of the longest. I had like one game, Ghost Lake, starting in Feudal Age, ending in Feudal Age. That was like close to 3 hours, a game that I once played.
I remember watching that. I actually was out to eat, getting some Indian food, and I pulled up the stream on my phone. And wasn't that on your 24-hour stream or your 40-hour stream?
My 40-hour stream, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're already dead. That made it rough for you. Foghorn's on the way to Imp. Super Lisko's on the way to Imp. Tarza seems to be holding for now. I did notice that Ice Cream and Super Lisko built castles right next to one another, so there might be conflict there shortly, as Super Lisko will be an Imp, and, well, let's face it, he's by far the strongest player right now at 132 population.
Yeah, that looks incredible for him here. And he has all the resources. He's going for a lot of barracks, so probably go for Harbor. He has so much map control here in the back as well. Ice Cream building a nice, amount of houses here in the back, trying to get some map vision.
Well, Ice Cream still does have resources he can take. There's many golds and many stones, and I think that's the important thing. You need to have farm space, and you need to have gold and stone control. And Foghorn is probably in the best position for resources that will last later on in this game after his little forward on Centrix. Centrix doesn't have much of a response to that, especially if Foghorn just wants to kill him off now, Nili.
Yeah, and Centrix has no gold income at the moment. 2 of his main gold spots are at the front. The other 2 gold spots he isn't even taking. He could have so many villagers around. There's 3 gold spots to take. But yeah, he's not continuing to push at the right-hand side. And if Foghorn decides to kill him, I don't see him having an answer.
Well, this could be quite good for Tarsus. If Centrix gets killed off, then maybe Tarsus will have a little bit of space. Ice Cream's on the way to Imp. You see Conscription on the way for... I'm sorry. There was Conscription on the way for Super Lisko. Maybe he canceled it. Or maybe he finished it. But he's going to tread down Ice Cream's castle, and Ice Cream's going to need a response. And he's only on his way to Imp. He can't even defend from trebuchets.
Well, he's trying to send some elephants now around. Could maybe snipe one trap. Obviously, elephant's pretty strong against those. Even attacking a boar for a small moment. But might even lose that elephant. And yeah, now what is our hopes for Centrix here? Could we lose our first player?
I think Centrix... there's 2 very strong players. It's the Foghorn and the Super Lisko game at the moment. Willis might be able to come back into this, because he's not being touched at this current time, but Centrix, he has no hope, man. He's in Castle Age, he's up against Imperial Goths, and his push on the right has stalled out. So I think that maybe Tarsus will have an opportunity to boom back into this, as Centrix, he's either going to have to run, I don't know where he'll run, or he's going to die. He has no defense against this.
Oh, he's trying to run. He still has 1 defensive castle and a solid like 66 pop, but I don't see how we can stop this push of Foghorn. And Foghorn knows he has still a lot of time with the monument in the middle. He's trying to expand there as well. So I think he will just continue pushing against Centrix.
This game has very different element to it because they're able to get to Imp so much faster. We still have 200 years left, and Ice Cream could be another player to go down, as he's up against, there's multiple trebuchets from Super Lisko, ballista elephants, and battle elephants, and Ice Cream just doesn't have the economy for it, just hitting Imp. This is going to be a struggle for many players in this game. Tarsus, Ice Cream, and Centrix seem to be having a rough time.
Yeah, and it seems like Willis at the moment, keeping completely calm, staying back, building some barracks, getting some gold, getting some stone, but not trying to attack. Look at his KD of Willis 35 here.
He has one death. And remember, he said just passing earlier. Now look at this. He is in a pretty good position. He's the only player that hasn't been focused on. The benefit of staying just passing, of course, and staying with the bottom score for a large majority of the game. He has multiple castles, he has multiple barracks, and Nili, 3k food, 33k, or 3.3k, sorry, gold. So he can actually contest the middle while everyone else seems to be struggling, besides Foghorn and Super Lisko.
Yeah, they're looking strong as well, but it feels like he isn't really at the pop that he wants to be. Yeah, he's even building more houses. He already has 210 and is building like 10 more houses, and he's queuing up more villagers. think soon he can start a lot of army. And look at that, he's getting all the upgrades at the moment.
Wow, look at that. Halberdier, Perfusion, Elite Huskar, Crop Rotation, Blast Furnace, 2-man salt. Getting every single upgrade. The question is, because the quality of play is definitely better from Foghorn and Super Lisco, will Willis be able to push and combat in the middle? Will he have the skill and the spam? I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. Especially because like Foghorn is still contesting the top. We can see Super Lisco going through Ice Cream first, so at the moment Willis could be the only one really taking care about the middle. Yeah, everyone is kind of dipping their toe in there, but also 170 years to go.
Yeah, if there's a lot of fighting in the middle and no one wins right off the bat, I think Tarzus will have an opportunity to come back into this now that Centrix is not pushing him. He is in Imp, but he doesn't seem to have the food or the pop. But if he's able to boom a little bit more, I think that he'll be able to finally get to the middle. And he goes right through Super Lisco as well.
Oh man,
these trees are going to be annoying. In the middle, these trees, they're going to be really bad for Super Lisco. Unless he cuts through with the Ballista Elephant, which he could do, of course.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. Or maybe just Onijus or something, but yeah, that looks pretty annoying. And this card is kind of blocking him as well. Not 100% sure if he wants to have it that way.
Yeah, probably not. He might even need to delete a couple of these stables. He wants to get production buildings near the middle, but it's not easy to do so with these trees, so maybe he'll think about cutting them. But he has Elite Ballista Elephant. He does have full Halberdier spam. And Ice Cream has been pushed back. Ice Cream's still at 86 pop, but he, much like Tarzus, is going to need some time to get his economy set. And meanwhile, Foghorn and Super Lisco, with 145 years remaining, they're looking to take this game.
And now Foghorn going for the big spam, but he doesn't have Elite Huskals yet. And honestly, I've never seen Elite Huskals against Elite Ballista Elephants, so I have no real idea how they will perform. Obviously against Halberdiers, they're incredibly good, but they need some buffer in front as well.
Just making a guess here, if they're Elite Huskarls by themselves do good against Scorpions. So if that is consistent, then Elite Huskarls would be pretty good, but he doesn't have Elite. Maybe he forgot Elite, and he doesn't have the food for Elite, so this is looking good for Super Lisco. Blue even is running into Tarzus on the left-hand side with Treb and some of his own Huskarls, so this could all favor Super Lisco going into the final 100 years.
Yeah, and Blue, look at how his barracks are placed there. Not having his waypoints perfectly set, and Foghorn now, he's still missing the lead upgrade, probably forgetting about that. And if you once forget it, it's unlikely that you will ever do it.
Yeah, I don't think he can win the game if he doesn't have a lead Huskarl. And I mean, also if he's being attacked by a player, Super Lisco's not being troubled by anyone. Tarzus hasn't had an opportunity to push back in. Centrix with 20 pop is on his way to Imp. What?
Oh man, what? Yeah, his base completely cleared out here.
That's something else, man. That is something else. I don't think he's going to be able to do much with that.
Look at the build-up here of Super Lisco as well. Like 5 castles super close, zoning out all the attacks from the north as well, giving him so much production of the Ballista Elephant. And I believe Foghorn and Willis really need to focus towards the middle, but I don't really see Willis clearing up a good path to contest the middle here.
Yeah, well, now we'll finally get to see if Willis is able to do something with his Elite Huskarls, because he's run in here. I don't know if he's patrolled or not. It seems like a lack of a patrol there for a while, but maybe far too many Ballista Elephants. This answers the question. Are Goths better or are Khmer better when you can get pretty much unlimited resources? And it looks like the Khmer are a little bit better, though I have to say with Goth spam, maybe if he was spamming there, he could have done a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I believe like Willis needs to clear up the pass, and now he's opening. Indeed, that's right. He's opening his houses there to the right-hand side. Now trying to clear up a bit of ice cream and then go from the other side. But Super Lisco now getting all the HP upgrades here on his castles as well, and that's now 7 castles surrounding that wonder. And I believe he's in a beautiful, beautiful spot here, especially if Willis continues to take such pure engagements.
Yeah, honestly, so many castles. Super Lisco's at 9 castles. He had that strong early boom, and I said this guy just can boom like no one else I've seen in my community game. And he still has plenty of resources, Nili, so he pretty much just needs to spam, and I think he needs to consider going for the win here. Maybe sending in Rams just for a meat shield. Foghorn has gone into hand cannons, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I have really questioned that choice as well. Well, they performed nicely against the Halberdiers, of course, but they aren't too great against the Ballista Elephants, cannot really clear up all these castles, and it's only 70 years. Time to work together, everybody.
Yeah, well, the problem is Willis is the only one who could really do something. Those hand cannons, they will not be enough. If it was full goth spam, they might be able to do something. There's trebuchets for Willis, so he's going to start on those castles. But as you said, HP upgrades on these bad boys. So there's 7k HP on each castle and only 65 years remaining. Tars is running into the top now, Nili.
Oh god, yeah, Tarsus, he needs to attack, and he has a nice amount of traps, so that's good for them. We'll clear up some castles, but like clearing up some castles won't really win you the game. And we can see Super Lisco building another castle at the front, but more traps from Willis at the south. I believe they will clear Super Lisco up, but will it be in time? Because it's only 55 years here.
Yeah, Super Lisco needs to be careful. He needs to make sure he keeps units in the middle. He wants to go out and kill these trebuchets just so he can stall. And I think it's worth it in this situation to go out with just the halberdiers. He's killed. Well, I think he will kill all of the trebuchets here from Willis. Tarsus is coming in from the top side, and he has no answer for that at the moment. It is at 50 years. And now, Huskarls for Foghorn. He doesn't have elite, but still, Foghorn is joining the fight now.
Oh, let's take a look. Super Lisco, he's trying to fight 3 sides now. He doesn't have a lot of units in the middle. That's like 2 halberdiers and like 5 elephants, and now lots of Huskarls of Foghorn. They are playing this strategically nice now.
Yes, now I think the players need to just forget about the castles if they have the Huskarls and go to the middle and try and clean up as many units to Super Liscos as possible, because with 39 years remaining, they can't wait to take all these castles down. Now, Tarzan does have a good control at the top, a good foothold there. He will take out 1 castle in an instant, but all the players need to push and kill these units in the middle, because it's all about the units, not the castles.
Oh, Super Lisco, 32 years for him. He's still looking at a strong pop 190. Lots of Ballista Elephants. That's an amount of HP there as well. Traps out, still a lot of Scorpions. Halberdiers won't really do the job anymore. I believe they need to spam all the Huskarls in the middle now. We need to see Tarsus move in now.
Yeah, Tarsus needs to go. Everybody needs to make the move to the middle. And I can't help but feel if they don't do that, it'll be too late for them. Castle's coming forward for Foghorn. Foghorn doesn't have his Huskarls there. Plenty of Scorpion units for Super Lisco. In fact, most of his units are Scorpion units. 20 years remaining, Nili.
Oof, another castle will go down. I believe Tarsus is camping this too much. If he could send in all his Huskarls now, that would be such a nice timing. More Huskarls from Willis as well. Foghorn needs to send in everything. Nice push there with the castles. We only see 14 years left. Tarsus, you need to send in all your army. This will be so close.
Yeah, he wants to take out the